Okay, we are asked to solve this equation. And when we look at this equation, I can see I have radicals. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to square stuff. So what's the first step? The first step is to isolate the radical. The issue here is I can't really completely isolate the radical. So your goal is to at least get one by itself. And so I have one by itself. So I'm going to square both sides as my first step. Okay, so square, square. So over here I'm going to get 2x plus 4. And over here, I'm going to have to FOIL, right? So I'm going to have to times this by this whole piece. So I'm going to have x plus 3, because those are going to cancel out. And then I'm going to have 1 times, okay, but I'm going to have 2 of them. So 2x plus 3 plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to clean up. 2x plus 4 equals, okay, what do I got here? I have an x, I have a 4 plus 2 radical x plus 3. So at this point, I still have a radical left. That means I need to do it again. So I didn't get it all gone, but I did get rid of one of them, so I'm feeling something. So now what I'm going to do is just like before, I'm going to isolate this. Okay, so I need to isolate this term. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So let's see here. I have x plus 4 equals 4 plus 2 x plus 3. And I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Okay, so I have x equals 2x plus 3. Okay, now at this point, this is fairly well isolated. I could choose to divide by the 2. I could choose to leave it there. It's up to you. I usually choose to divide by it because I want it completely isolated, because the less over there, in my opinion, the better. Okay, now that I've isolated it again, I'm going to square both sides. Okay, so now over here I'm left with, let's see here, x squared divided by 4, because I have to square both pieces. Over here, x plus 3. Okay, now what do I have here? Well, I have, what I should realize right here is I have a quadratic. That means, cool, I can use one of my methods for, I can use the quadratic equation, I can factor. I have a quadratic. I'm going to attack it that way. So what do I do with the quadratic? Well, the first thing is I'm going to look at this and go, well, I don't want a fraction here, so I'm going to times everything by 4. It's going to be my first step. So I'm going to get x squared equals 4x plus 12. Then, because it's a quadratic, I have to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to go x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. Okay? So this is where I am right now. Now I can look at this and I'm going to be like, okay, can I factor it? And it looks like I can't, so I'm going to factor. So I'm going to do x minus 6x plus 2 equals 0. So then x equals 6 and negative 2. But I am not done. I need to check these. I can very easily have an extraneous solution. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to write my problem down. And I have x plus 2. Yeah. Okay, no, that is not what I have there. Okay. 2x plus 4 equals, okay, let's see what here. And then I have equals x plus 3 plus 1. Okay, so now I have to check each of these. So I'm going to first check 6. So if I check 6 here, okay, if I put 6 in, I'm going to get 12, right? So I'm going to get 12 plus 4 equals, this would be 9 plus 1. So then this is 12 plus 4, which is 16. This is 3 plus 1. So this is 4 equals 4. Cool. That one checks. So I'm like, good. But now I need to check the second one. So I'm going to do the same thing with negative 2. So let's see here. Negative 2 is going to give me negative 4 plus 4. That's going to give me negative 1. Oh, no, a second. This is going to give me positive 1, which is good because it's like, oh, that's really screwed up. This is going to give me 0, right? This is going to give me 1 plus 1. This is going to give me 0 equals 2. This, no, this is not a solution. So then I only have one solution, 6. Make sure to check. You will often not have both be answers when you are working with these problems. So very careful. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're checking for those. You will often get extraneous solutions. As you work through these can be long. They're easy to get lost in the middle of, so make sure you take your time, use lots of space, make sure you're paying attention to the signs, make sure you're following each of the steps through. And remember, as soon as you see that anything quadratic, you see that squared, ooh, can I factor? Can I use the quadratic? What are my options?